Hey, it's Viola. So come crafting with me as I'm making ephemera. Today I'm making a folio. And just so you know, I own the Etsy shop called The Naked Journal. And then I also have the Facebook group that's called Junk Journal hyphen Learn the How-Tos. We have about 30,000 members. So let's just get started. I'm going to just pull out a little bit here so that we can kind of get everything. There we go. All right, so folios are sometimes made with cardstock. I am using what I would call lightweight paper or copy paper, but this is scrapbooking, and it's lightweight. So I'm taking a sheet 12 by 12, and I'm folding it in half. And then I am going to real quick mark where 4 inches are, because we're going to be folding it into thirds. So I've got these marked, and so I'm just going to go ahead and fold them. They are folding at 4 inches. Okay. And then I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to fold this one at 4 inches as well. Okay, so we are on our way. Okay. All right, so I found with this folio that by burnishing the folds a little bit better, it does help the folio lay nicer. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to, you're going to have to forgive me. I made these 2 folios ago, and I just want to make sure that I get this correct. Okay. Yep. So we're going to turn it so the outside is here. We're going to turn it, and I'm going to put a pocket hole here. I think. There we go. Yeah, my cutter is getting worn out, I'm afraid. There we go. All right, so we've got that. I am going to take this piece of paper, and I'm going to just cut it. I believe I did 3.5 inches. So it's going to be about right here. This part, I just cut it with scissors. Doesn't have to be exact because that's actually going to go inside. And then I just fold it over. And so I folded it, and that is probably about 2 inches. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this right down into here. And before I do that, I'm going to put another hole, or half a hole, I should say, right here. There we go. All right, so I just want to make sure my fold is down quite a bit. I have a bone folder, but I'm not exactly sure where it is right now. So I'm just sliding that right there. I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to glue this in. There we go. Okay. So I've glued it on there. I'm going to turn my folio back around. So it's already kind of coming together. Furnishing all the sides. Then my next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put my paper. So what I've done is I've cut coffee stained paper. These are about 3 7/8 by 5 1/2. And so what I'm going to do is I want to make sure that they are less than what's between my 2 fingers there. So actually, I just want to make sure, because I did make one and the pages were a little wider and it didn't allow my folio to fold very nicely. So I'm just going to make sure that these are less than what's between those 2 points. And while I'm doing that, I'm also going to cut my next piece of paper here. So I'm taking what I had left from the other and just putting that, and then so this is, now I have trimmed it down to about almost 3 1/2 inches. And this still is, I believe, 5, yep, 5 1/2 inches. So then I'm going to take this and I'm just going to trim that. And actually, I'm sorry, I'm going to make this about 3/4 of an inch wide. Okay. And then what I'm going to do, I glue it onto my first page just because I, you know, when you're crafting, each time your make gets a little bit better because you're finding out what works and what doesn't work. So I'm going to glue that right on to my first page. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to put, excuse my reach over there, I'm going to put 2 holes. One there. And I don't do a lot of measuring, just because I really never have. I used to make school clothes for my daughter, and I did follow patterns, but eventually I morphed them into however I wanted. And I did make a skirt and shirt for her for a wedding that we went to. Okay, so I'm going to string some ribbon into this, and I'll just get that started. Probably have too much ribbon, but I like having too much versus not enough. Let's just get that point in there. You know, any other time I made this folio, it went right in, but of course, as soon as I turn the camera on, it doesn't. So let's get it in there this time. Okay. So one of the things I also learned from doing this is I used to put my knots in the back, and I found that having extra ribbon, having some tails hanging, is actually creating additional color and depth. So now I just put them in the front, and I'm just going to try and get this tied in. There we go. Yay! Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my glue I want to make sure that that stays in, and I'm just going to put it right here, try to center it. And then that gives somebody lots of places to journal. Just want to make sure that folds in. It does. Okay, so I believe our folio is already half made. So then I'm going to turn it this direction, and I'm just going to make sure that my pocket here gets closed up. I see I did not get it quite flush, but that's okay. It's art. It's not perfection, it's art. Here we go. So there is my pocket and my pocket and my little tablet for somebody to write on. So in the other folios, I did have enough paper, which is really strange because I had enough. I think that is okay. I am just going to create a pocket, a corner tuck. So this paper that I have was, I believe, a 6x6. So yeah, I certainly should have some more. I think I do. I probably set it aside. Okay, so I've done the inside of the folio. Now what I want to do is I'm going to fold it Let me just glue this up. And what I like to do is I put glue inside, because if I let whatever I'm putting in there go without gluing it here, it's definitely going to could have the potential to slide inside, and then the recipient won't even notice that I put something in there. So I'm just kind of getting that glued up. There we go. Okay, and again, burnishing does help. Okay, yeah, that piece right there, I did not get that flush. That's okay. But now what I'm going to do, here's my folio, and I'm going to take this piece right here, and I'm going to fold it down, and I leave probably about 1/4 of an inch right there up at the top here, and then I'm going to fold it. And this is going to give us an additional pocket. There we go. I'm going to turn it. I'm going to take this piece right here that you have, and I am going to turn it down or in as well. And then I'm going to burnish it, and that creates an additional pocket. I just want to look at mine. Yep, okay. So then, here's what you have the option to do. You can, and I do, I put my glue in here, but you could put it right across here and then have a pocket here, but I didn't, only because then it kind of creates bulk right there, but you can do that. But what I do is I open this up, I go maybe, 2 inches from the bottom, and I put my glue in there. And that way, when I slide something going in here, it's not going to slide all the way down here. And then I'm just going to kind of clean, no, I think that's actually pretty good. Let me just see. Yeah, I'm going to just kind of put a little glue right along here, so that makes it kind of crisp. There we go. And I have a 3-sided journal pocket, or a folio, and it has a tuck here, has note space here, has a tuck here, and if you want, it has a tuck on the back, and there is a place to put something there. Now this one I didn't quite get flush, so what I'm going to do, and that works on crafts, is just to kind of let yourself be imperfect. It is okay that it is not 100% straight, because as I say, it's art. So then what I'm going to do, I'm going to fold it up, and I'm going to take some ribbon that I have, and I'm going to start at the front, go around and around, and go around and around, and then I'm going to tie that up. That will help my creases kind of solidify while it's waiting to be put into a journal. I'm having trouble tying bows tonight. I don't know why. So there is the completed journal folio. I keep messing that up. Here is one that I created. See, I did put an additional pocket there. I had additional papers there, and then here is another one, that I finished, and I think I have 2 more. I have this one, and this one opens like that, so I have 3. Oops, and then I have, of course, 1 more, and this one opens. This one didn't have a pocket. I think this might have been one of the first ones that I made, but this one, I believe, nope, doesn't have a pocket there, but it does have the pocket here. And so, yeah, this was, I think, one of the first ones I made, because there isn't a pocket here. And you can choose to put them there or not. I'm finding with my junk journaling that the more places that I add pockets, the more funner I'm having, and the recipient gets to go through. So, well, I hope you enjoyed this folio make, and just a 30-second commercial. I do own the Etsy shop, The Naked Journal, and for a good almost 2 years, I have put all my efforts and energy into making naked journals for others to embellish. I'm still going to do that, but I'm also kind of branching into ephemera and enjoy embellishing my handmade ephemera. So I may have some of that available in my shop later on in the year. I also do have the Facebook group, Junk Journal Learn the How-Tos. There are over 30,000 members. It's a very fun, creative, and inviting community. One of my #1 rules is that everybody has to be kind to one another, and we don't have conflict in the group, and that makes for a better experience. So thank you for joining me making this folio. I hope you'll join me in my next make.